So Quarry is a music venue and a recording studio. So we have Quarry Studios and Quarry Live, and we also use it as a kind of multimedia space and installation. So we took the venue on in February, just before the lockdown. So we had 2 weeks of being open. Chrissy had booked us 6 months of shows ready to go, and then the pandemic happened. Luckily, landlords were kind of okay and helped us sort of make it so we could keep hold of the place without it completely killing us. We did it with absolute pennies. Although we did all the work, it took so many of different Liverpool organisations. So Chrissy and Ben were running Spine, 5 partners here. There's me, Chrissy, Ben, Jez and Pauline.
Well, Spine started in 2018, which stemmed from our project Lone Saw, which is an industrial noise collective. And we'd reached a point where no one was booking us to play. There's solo projects and then other smaller projects such as Mal. Between them all, there's a great element of theatricality that kind of runs through them, particularly in Lone Saw. We discovered that there was a far greater community for that music than we initially realised. So on Saturday coming, we have our first Spine night that we've put on since we've been open. So that's like a bit of a big event for us, as we've now adapted Spine into a record label specifically for Liverpool artists, so that bands can have physical releases. Yeah, I just love this city. I've tried to leave so many times, but I just get pulled back in like Al Pacino. But I've seen it change so much in the time I've been here as well, and not always positively. Like lots of venues have unfortunately been lost, particularly over the last year. Well, we've been extremely lucky to have survived the pandemic, but our main threat, and I suppose it's the same threat that every venue in Liverpool has, it's property developers. Going into this project, we had to accept before we even did it that this might only be a short period of time, or we might only have 4 or 5 years before we get ousted by some luxury flats that want to appear in our yard, so to speak. We know that directly behind us there are some plans. Well, in the next few years, there's plans to build a new Everton Stadium by the water, which will bring a lot more businesses into this area and perhaps property developers as well. It's not all negative, I mean, it might be in the microcosm of what we're doing negative. Spine is kind of the thing that started this all for us, so it's a bit of a big event to have the return of Spine here. Some artists playing who are involved in the label, including Plexia.
Well, we're Plexia. We just released our first EP on the 2nd of August called Immolation. We did this EP within 2 months and it's all just took off massively. It's taken on a life of its own. It's mad to be here and to do this because, I'd come to shows here last year before quarantine and all the rest of it, and I could never have imagined that in a year's time it would be me and you and doing this. It's a perfect space to be doing this type of stuff because everybody around us is going for the same ideas and doing the same thing and understands, because if we'd have taken this to anywhere else, nobody would have came to see it or would have listened to it or whatever. It's been promoted in the best way possible because everybody at Spine Records who were with knew exactly what we wanted, and that for us was like the stepping stone to make it. The music is brilliant and the spoken word bits, whatever, but it's the promotion and it's the people behind you that make it into what it is.